joins us. Make sure to open your chat if you're able. We would love to see you on camera. So if you go to the bottom of your screen, please make sure you open up participants and you can see your name is going to be on the top right. And if it doesn't have a name, go scroll your mouse over your name and you'll see something called More, and you can add your name to your image, and that will be also the place where you can see where the raise hand feature is. So when it comes time, if we have time for questions, you can raise your hand electronically and we'll be able to give you some time to speak if we have time. So, but again, that's where it is. We would love to see you on camera if you are able to. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Where's
Happy New Year, everyone.
Here we go.
And there are several new gatherers into the RLC joining us today for their very first time, and we welcome you. It's a wonderful day on Wednesdays because we come together as a group of friends investigating and exploring the nature of our infinite true nature and the reconnective healing experience. And it's an exhilarating conversation that we welcome every person into. And today is unique in a way. It is the beginning of often what we mark in time and space as the new year. And so much over the course of 2020 asked us to sort of pause in time and reflect and stay still while the unknown presented itself, whether it was in science or it was in religion, whether it was in love, music, whatever the passion and purpose that each of us may have defined our lifetime be as, or to be part of it, in a way, it became a universal pause, a unity of sorts with the finite as the finite is expressed. Many that emerged out of return to the infinite nature of existence. And it always raises a very interesting sort of inquiry around the idea of energy, light, and information preceding all known experience. I refer to it as a before beyond, but the curious nature of the reconnective healing experience and our very deep and personal relationship to that has much to do with how energy, light, and information expresses itself through the reconnective healing experience. That may be where purpose and passion is accelerated. But I'd like to suggest that part of the inquiry is to know the difference between experience and the infinite. So the theme of this New Year, New You is going to inspire a conversation, I hope an epic conversation and exploration that will lead to a deep level of what we're going to say is the focus of 2021, the simultaneity in our existence. So to do that, we're going to, I hope in a balanced way, continue to provide wonderful support and guidance around the daily experience so that it can be appreciated at a whole new level without it losing its understanding of its finite nature. And this will mean different things for each of us. So in honor of that, I decided I'd want to share someone, in this case, Jalpa VithalanI is who will be our guest today. And I'm excited for you to understand a little bit about her journey and obviously the relationship she has had to the Reconnective Healing experience, but to allow her to open the conversation today around passion and purpose and the consistent inquiry that comes up along that. So we maintain some inquiry uh, along the enormous, uh, all consuming at times, body mind way in which experience unfolds and the vast freedom that presents itself when the energy, light, and information of who we are reclaims its reconnection. So we're going to welcome Jalpa in just a moment. There'll be time for the life leaders. There'll be time for you to put things into the chat. I'd like to play just a 3-minute little piece to give you a sense of Jalpa's background. And then I'm going to let her share. Cece, can you? Okay, great. I have sound.
I apologize so much. Give me one more second. I'm so sorry. We're going to start that again.
Cecilia, we still don't have sound.
You don't have sound.
I must say, I actually was
You sometimes
unaware
get
that
the fear
this
that what could
particular,
happen
yeah,
is making nothing.
that this particular piece didn't have Jalpa narrating. So Jalpa, welcome and thank you at 1:30, almost quarter to 2 in the morning in Mumbai, that you have joined us to share a little bit about uh, kind of the journey of passion and purpose for you. I do want to allow this community to acknowledge you, that you are here today with us. I do want to be transparent, as we always are. Jalpa had a circumstance yesterday where her friend that she grew up with from across the street passed of COVID. And all that she had sort of been in excitement sort of to share with you today became a distraction for that moment of pain, despair, loss experience. And yet, one of the things we will learn about passion and purpose is that it is never the totality of who we are. So, Jalpa, welcome and thank you for bringing and giving of yourself today in our community.
It's an honor. It's a privilege, Jillian. Thank you so much. Very happy New Year to the entire Reconnective Life community. It's a pleasure to be here, and even have this opportunity to share a little bit about my journey, and for all of us to explore purpose and passion together. My journey has been one which has taught me. It's brought me joy and made me explore uncharted waters. And most importantly, it's made me a catalyst for bringing art, love, joy, and reconnective healing to others. Cosmic Art Gallery, which you've seen in this little video, has been a thriving part of my life and makes reality better every single day. It's been a journey of following a way of life truly and making the most of every opportunity that comes my way. At its core, the gallery, which you've seen, is a space which opens its doors to the best the world has to offer: art, positive frequencies, music, culture, meaningful gatherings, and my passion, reconnective healing. As a profession, I'm just to give you a little background. I'm running a business in aviation and logistics. I'm a gallerist, I'm an artist, a social worker, a farmer, and a reconnective healing practitioner. But what I'd like to mention is right from being a farmer to reconnective healing, or whether it's the travel, the aviation, logistics, art, everything is essentially a part of who I am, and it's been an integral part of my evolution. So it's all interrelated and dynamic. And the common thread, I think, has been bringing in my own creativity and uniqueness into everything that I do. I also think that I'm a people's person. So wherever you put me, whether it's in the villages, at the farm, or in the city, I'd like to relate, to involve people, to engage them. I think that comes naturally. And we've grown up, fortunately, traveling, meeting a lot of people, exploring unique cultures. And this, I think, has shaped the way I view art, the way I view life, and the world at large. So, what brought in my passion for reconnective healing? Where did that stem from? I've actually never practiced any other form of healing. And way back in 2010, my sister Toral spoke to me about Dr. Eric Pearl and reconnective healing, and she invited me to come and listen to a talk. We were very lucky. He was just flying through Mumbai and he was giving a presentation. I remember at that time I was at a crossroad. I was at this, at this crossroad in my life. In fact, I was just coming out of a marriage, of an abusive marriage, and I was also suffering from FOOG, which is partial amnesia related to trauma. So even though I'm so alert and I remember everything right from childhood, I was actually blocking off the abuse and leading life as normal. I don't even think this is something Jillian and maybe Eric know. But at this point, Toral suggested, I was home, I was undergoing the divorce, and she said, why don't you come? And when I went and listened to Eric speak, I was in awe. It was a sense of knowingness. It was already a sense of coming home, just being in the field there. And I remember mentioning to Toral that whatever it is that Dr. Pearl does, I have to do. It's a part of my path. And I just have to do it. And I also remember Eric made us laugh a lot. He has the most brilliant sense of humor. And, I remember him mentioning things like you can't invite what is omnipresent, about the do's and don'ts, about how, it's so simple, the healing. Because you're just entraining yourself, you're engaging with the frequencies. There was no technique. And I thought that is something which also really touched me. And the next thing I knew, when Dr. Pearl came in December, I enrolled for the program with Toral. And again, my sister was telling me that, you must be the only one in the audience who's still not read the book. But I said, I just know I have to do this work. And, as we immersed in the frequencies, and I just felt like I had been doing this all my life. I felt like I had been doing this across lifetimes. That is the kind of knowingness there was. And it was incredible, just to be there. And as we all know, that reconnective healing is simply a gateway to accelerated life progress. And I can truly say it reoriented me beautifully, and it still does, to the fullness of who I am, my full potential. And what a gift it is when both our inner and outer worlds rhyme with the same resonance, right? So my own life transformed 180 degrees, whether it was physical, mental, emotional, financial. I experienced shifts at every level. And what is beautiful is that whatever was redundant in my life left effortlessly, creating space, so much space for new experiences and for joyful experiences. And I'd like to also share something profound, that reconnective healing and having my reconnection done actually gave me a clean slate. I started life afresh, and beautifully so, because there's no trace of, something which I would not like to actually turn back to. My journey has essentially always been a spontaneous one. I like to feel my way through things, that's the way I've been built, I think. And the universe has always put me in a place, and then it's taught me. And, I've actually always been happy with this kind of a flow. I've had a love for art since childhood, and I've been an artist. And I was keen to study commercial arts, but somehow I gravitated and I did financial services and management. And I joined my father's business of aviation and logistics. It took me a while to realize that this is in my blood. It's a part of my DNA. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we were representing the Finnish Tourist Board. My sister, who's in travel, we were both doing a lot of promotion work for the country, which we thoroughly enjoyed. We traveled extensively. We also learned that in business, it's so important to be updated and innovative, right? I think whatever you do in life, it's so important to be innovative. It really keeps you going. It keeps your passion going. From the very beginning, I'd also like to add that philanthropic work, social enterprise, community upliftment has always been a part of the family philosophy and even our group's operations as a whole. So, what I found is the universe is always ready to teach us, but are we ready to listen? I started my journey in 1998 as a farmer. This was over 20 years ago. My father had an agriculture license, and in India, you need an agriculture license to start this. And I remember one day in the office, he invited me and he said that, I have a floriculture expert and he's talking about some very interesting things. And we both suddenly realized that, we would love to do something with the Mother Earth besides what we were doing in aviation. So the next thing I knew, we were on a flight to Israel, which is very strong with technology and equipment. And then we went to Holland, which is the Mecca of flowers. It's the largest re-export center of flowers. And within 1 year, we set up a floriculture project. We were the pioneers at that time to bring greenhouse technology to India. And I was one of the first women involved in floriculture. So, today people ask me that, do you have a master's in agriculture? But actually the universe just put me on the field, and my bare feet on the soil taught me everything there was to know. And, it is amazing when we flow like this, because this project was started from ground up. And I remember even the land selection and what an amazing process it was. And I remember when I went to see many lands, and that day when I saw this particular, this particular chunk, and for the next 48 hours, it's like I felt this sense of joy, and there was something in me which was alive. And I said, what is it? Because nothing specifically has happened. And I said, yes, it was that land. And I said, this has to be the place where we set up the project. So anyway, lots of beautiful things transpired. The universe conspires, I think, when we flow. I was appointed as the vice president of the Western India Floriculture Association. This was quite male dominated, and I was very, very young. This is 20 years ago, like I said. I was even appointed by the Minister of Commerce at that time on the board of the apex body of agriculture in the country. I remember every month I had to fly down to the capital city, and we used to be in a boardroom of 100 men with just 2 women. We also got to represent a leading breeder in Europe called Schroers. They genetically engineer new varieties of roses. So we did a lot of research, a lot of beautiful work in the greenhouses. We were promoting their products to other other farms in India. I traveled the length and breadth of the world, visiting greenhouses in India and all over the world. And it was also exciting that we represented the largest auction house in Europe. And we were one of the suppliers who were already in the international business, right? It was a backward integration because we were shipping flowers and perishable products on the airlines. So we knew how to engage in international business besides growing good flowers. And even growing a good product, growing good flowers, when you're working with nature, you're working with agriculture, it stems from love. It stems from passion. I think that's when you can grow a good product. You have to have a connection with the land, with the people. Working with the local community was so fulfilling. It really makes you aware of your privileges. We had, a lot of women from the neighboring villages. 75% of the people on the team were women, as they are very good with the delicate handling of flowers. So, it's been an amazing journey, this connection to Mother Earth. And of course, we had a lot of healing and reconnective healing on the plants. And, I had a room at the farm where I would have lots of people from the different villages. It almost went viral, coming for reconnective healings. And, they're so simple that in the space of allowing, they experience the most beautiful sessions and gifts. And here I got to witness them in childlike glee. So, sometimes I didn't even know if I was going to the farm for the healings or for the agriculture. But like I said, each of this is eventually an extension of who I am. So, moving on to the gallery, which you saw in the film, the gallery is also a gift of the universe. And I think this has been the most beautiful gift that I have received after getting my reconnection done. And I had a dream of opening this gallery. I had no ambition. I'm an artist. I love art. I always wanted to do something with art, but I didn't at that point in my life. And I was given complete direction in this dream, where I saw a beautiful space vividly with lots of art. I saw a symbol on the floor, which later became my logo. I've placed the symbol exactly the way I've seen it in the dream. And I was given specific, detailed information on what I have to do on this path. And I was given the name of the gallery. It's called Cosmic Heart Gallery. And I asked, why Cosmic Heart? And that's when I was told, because it's going to be art inspired by the cosmos, by the nameless ones. I was quick to understand that this had to be a platform for talent. Whether it's for young artists or veterans, it had to be a platform for talent. One thing I think is that when we are silent, the universe is always talking to us. And I've always been quick to pick up the signs. So the reason I share this about the dream is because I think that, each of us is receiving inspiration. So it's up to us to pick up the signs and, follow them. So I told my sister about this dream, and she said that, who was talking to you? Who gave you all this information? And I said, it was my own voice. It was like a tete-a-tete. I was asking questions and I got answers. So I just actually put this aside. It was completely out of my comfort zone. I was doing a lot of reconnective healing sessions those days, even distance healings for people around the world, running my floriculture business, exporting roses around the world, into aviation, running the Finnish tourist board. So I didn't really, think that I needed to add something more to my plate at that time. But a few days later, when I was having dinner with my father, he offered me the same space which I saw in my dream. And he says, why don't you open a gallery in Court Chambers? You're enjoying painting so much. I think you should open a gallery. Now, obviously, this was the universe talking to me. It was beyond my father. And what was unusual is, though the incubation process of the gallery took 1 year, wherever I went, I had people who had no idea about my dream or that I might think of opening a gallery, asking me to launch them. I had so many artists telling me, why don't you launch us? So, the universe, like I said, is always talking to us. The gallery had to manifest, and it's been a beautiful gift of the universe. And like I said, the timing was, soon after I had my reconnection done. And I've always been aware of the little gifts as they've been unfolding, right? It's not limited. Our sessions are not limited to the point of the session. They're keeping on unfolding to us in different ways. So, we've had an incredible 8 years of the gallery with 150 events related to art, culture, music, and reconnective healing.
Hey there, family. Dr. Eric and Jillian here.
Welcome, everyone.
And we're very excited about Reconnective Life, our first online global community. This is the most exciting way we've been able to get together since I founded the Reconnection. It'll be a place where we can do things together. We'll move into breakout rooms at times when that's appropriate. We'll have energy interactions and meditations and exercises. In other words, expect things you haven't seen before.
You are so charged.
Things really
He's so lit about every new way we get to be together every day. Just be together. Let us just speak a little bit about what is going to be the shape of this community.
In this community, we can share and discover more. Here we can talk to each other, we can chat, we can learn from and about one another. Jillian, me, our life leaders, and you will be in daily conversation with you. Weekly, we will have Facebook Lives.
We will be with you every Wednesday. Sometimes it'll be just Eric. On occasion, it might just be me. Sometimes it'll be the two of us. It's all about giving you a way to look at the week living in the frequencies.
And in every fourth week, we will include a live Q&A so we can talk about things that have been coming up for us, discuss back and forth, share, grow, expand together.
And the ever-growing library of content that has been created over 20 years that will be on demand for you. It will be on-demand content for you to view, enjoy, share again with your inner circle.
And monthly, we are going to have live Zoom retreats. We're going to bring in some exercises and experiences and things that previously we've reserved for our physical retreats, when we were in the different location resorts and things. And we're modifying them so that we can work with these with you in your home, in your living room, in your den. Put into the chat line, what is facility? We're having these weekly Zoom in-depth Q&As.
Finally, we have a place and space to just define what does that really mean living in the frequencies.
This is something that is in all of us.
Everyone can do this.
It doesn't matter how many levels you've gone through or how well you know the programs. It's a community that allows us to recognize how interrelated we all are as receivers of energy, light, and information.
See you there.
Reconnective life, living in the frequencies every day.